Hey everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today I'm playing in one of my favourite medium tanks in the game, the BatChat T10. Now I know I featured this tank recently, but during that commentary I was thinking just how much I feel that the BatChat 25T is an incredible scout tank within its own right, and while it might not be the best scout tank in the game, that clearly is the T100 LT. And there's a few other vehicles that might be good tier for tier, like the ELC even 90, for example. Never thought I would be saying that once I first looked at that tank. This is, in my opinion, the best light tank in the game. Now, I know, a lot of people are already getting their keyboards out and they're going to go and write in the comments down below, actually, QuickyBaby, it's a medium tank, it's not a light tank. Yes, I still mean it. It's the best light tank. I mean, there's practically no difference between this and some of the other light tanks in the game. It's got 60mm of frontal armor, 40 on the side, so it's definitely not very well armored. And it can go at 65 kilometers an hour forwards with an impeccable power to weight ratio of nearly 28.5. So that allows you to get into positions, to get into bushes just like this, to be able to make some aggressive plays in the BatChat, to be able to spot out. Although I think probably the Bulldog above me has actually managed to catch a glimpse at this Object 252U. But can a tier 10 light tank do this? Can it put a round into the side of the 252U's turret reliably there and have about 250mm of penetration even at the 420 meters here? Now, if I was playing in a tier 10 light tank right now, well, that accuracy, wow, right into the side. Hopefully one is going to go in. Oh, where did that one actually go? I can't believe that didn't even hit. Okay, finally. Well, 2 out of 5, not bad, including a tracking shot that managed to give us a little bit of tracking there. But when you're playing in your tier 10 light tanks, they actually have 25% worse drop-off of their penetration over distance. It's absolutely brutal. And right now, we've got a rather skilled mouse that's going to be rolling towards us, but we're going to be able to keep him in the pocket. Now, I've got 500 meters view range on this tank because you can't use a gun rammer, so that means that, of course, you're going to use vents and coated optics. And that combined with 400 meters base view range, which is actually better than the T100 LT and better than the AMX 13105, which is kind of meant to be the more scouty of the two vehicles. And because I've got that high view range, it actually means that I can now just spot this mouse and keep in the pocket, as I call it. A distance where unless I fire, he's never going to spot me because my camo is better, and my view range is always going to keep him lit up. And sure, that Bulldog is going to be catching a little bit of a glance at him as well, but I can just do this for ages. In fact, I'm so confident that I can do this for ages, I just figure out, do I really want to waste some of these APCR rounds pretty much bouncing off the mouse? And even if I hit his weak point, the APCR rounds are hardly going to penetrate. Well, I'm in control of this situation so much, why don't I just reload that one heat magazine that I take in this vehicle, which is just for these situations. I take those 5 heat rounds for when you need to engage a Type 5 heavy in a 1 versus 1, or alternatively, if a heavy tank, when there's hardly any artillery against them or any tier 10 tank destroyers that seem to be supporting you, is just sitting there. And the heat rounds do give you a massive advantage in this vehicle compared to a light tank because they have 330mm of penetration, whereas your tier 10 light tanks have got 280. Alright, so first one's a miss, second one right into the lower plate. The guy will know where I am now, but another one there into the lower plate, and we are low rolling all of these shells. That one, about average, and I think that one actually went through the upper plate there, if that's possible. I think you can actually penetrate the upper plate of the mouse if it's not angling at all with heat rounds. Alright, so 3 rounds in there, and the mouse gets to an inevitable demise. And I always feel a little bit dirty when you YOLO heat rounds like that in any tank that I'm playing. But if you're going to YOLO heat rounds at anything, you know, a mouse that's deciding to push forwards and make a pivotal play for their team, that's got to be one of them. Talking about mouse is his baby brother, the Moistion, that's going to be pushing forwards with the 50 TP. And I have no problems getting forwards into the bush, and I'm going to work this bush when my magazine fully loads to hopefully be able to shoot through it without getting spotted. Alright, we're going to fire one blind at the 55. We're going to have to find out whether, the 50 TP prototype. We have to go and find whether he actually took damage when he appears again. And I'm thinking about shooting at the lower plate of the Moistion right now, but now he's got behind the mouse. It doesn't look like it's quite such a clever idea. So I push forwards, I pull back behind the bush, and I'm going to be able to shoot through the bush at this T44, and this should be a sitter. There you go, right into the side. 495 hit points means it's quite awkward whether we're going to be able to take him out or not. If we hit him with a single shot, well, we're definitely not going to. And the blooming IS-3A on the enemy team bounces another one. And this is hilarious. This tank is more accurate than the tier 10 lights, but still, it's just really not quite working out. All right, it looks like we might have actually damaged that 50 TP there as he's come back on 622 hit points when I believe he had more when he left. And we bounce off the T44. What is going on with my BatChat here? I was kind of cursing the sun right now at these kind of RNG low rolls. Why would I curse the sun? I'll probably have to curse the Serb instead. Oh no, wait a minute, I meant to pray to Serb so that I get better luck, right? Alright, so definitely not the best use of my first 15 rounds in this tank to only do about 3,100 damage that we've seen. It's not great for firing 15 rounds of ammunition. But look, we're just chilling in this bush. The bulldog on our team has since left. He's now at the back of the map, I guess, spotting out from there. Looks like he is catching a glimpse at this moisture as well. And this is where the BatChat is just the best light. 1 kill. 2 kills. 3 kills? 4th penetration? And 4 kills. Oh my word. Look at me shaking the mouse there. That might be one of the greatest magazines I have ever seen in World of Tanks. I'm just looking at the vehicle saying, this is why it's the best light tank. This is why it's the best light tank. Oh my word. For those kind of moments, the fact that you can kill pretty much a quarter of the enemy team, over a quarter of the enemy team with a single magazine without getting spotted, just creating a graveyard on my flank. I mean, come on, team. What do you guys want from me right now? Like, look at this little cluster of tanks that we've managed to get destroyed here. And while we've lost a couple of vehicles, it's not really the end of the world. And so right now I was feeling pretty chipper, but there's no point in really sitting there and getting shot by a Stritzfang 103B at the back of the map. So instead, I want to try and flank. And I was thinking right now that the enemy, with the BatChat 25T AP on the enemy team pulling back, look like they're going to pressure the hill. So I thought that if I can provide some support from the back of the map, then that is going to be great for the heavy tank that we have up on top of the hill, who's... Oh, yeah, there you go. So the BatChat flanks right where I thought they would be. And am I going to be in position quick enough? And this is where I'm getting nervous. I realize I've got 10 rounds of ammunition left. Oh, and the first one dips. Well, to be honest, I didn't aim that one perfectly. That was kind of my fault, as well as also having a little bit of bad RNG. And I'm really nervous now about firing these shots. I wish I just closed the distance right now. There you go. Picking up the 5th kill of the game on the BatChat 25T AP, and the T62A thunders across with the T10 finishing off the object 257. Now I'm starting to get rather nervous about this game. Do I reload or do I try and make these 3 rounds count? Well, to be fair, if I reload right now, then I'm going to have an awkward magazine afterwards, where I have to reload 3 shells. And so I feel like these 3 shells will be okay to finish off the T10, or alternatively okay to finish off the T62A. Now, if I had loads of ammunition, I would totally fire there, but I can't risk it. I really thought that I was going to have to use all of these rounds to be able to get through the game. What do you mean? You thought you were going to have to use spoilers, QuickyBaby? What do you mean? Oh, we'll have to see what the outcome is going to be. All right, so we spot 309 damage on the T10 here, and I'm just thinking, yeah, there you go. There's one for the guy. Surely the second one's going to go in when it's fully aimed. Nice. All right, with only a single shell left, now I'm going to go for a full reload. But our team is just wilting. It looks like that Stritzfang 103B has just cut through the flank. He's probably advanced into a location like this where he's been able to get some crossfire, and even though we're up to 4,500 damage and 2,400 spotting within the first half of this game, it's really not looking very good for us now. And unfortunately, the bulldog is going to get caught out in a second. And it's just absolutely awkward. I was thinking right now, what can I do? What can I do? How can I manage to kill 5 tanks on the enemy team and I know that the T62A still got half of his hit points left. It's not going to happen. So instead, I decide, let's go out swinging, right? I'm not going to go drown myself just because I'm not going to be able to get through this situation. I'm going to try and make the best use of all of the ammunition that I have. All right, so first round is going to go into the Lorraine 155-51, and I was going to ram the guy if I didn't manage to kill him there. You'll see that I instantly reload because, well, 5, it's the perfect number. We can get 5 105mm rounds back into this tank, so I might as well have all of them loaded at the same time. And when it's dry, it's dry. All right, so I make a little bit of a move there, and that's something that's important to do. After you've been spotted, pretend that you're going in a certain direction, and then when you know that you're no longer spotted, cut back and go in the opposite direction. So that's exactly what we're doing here, and the T55A actually catches me out in the open, but I've got better view range than him, and it looks like my camera rating is also good as well. So I decide to use like one of the most tiny bushes I've ever seen. But because the BatChat isn't the biggest of tanks, in fact it's smaller than some light vehicles, it's going to work out. and they think I've gone up to the hill because I've baited them completely, or they think I'm in the corner. Well, I let the T55A roll by. I want to take the tier 10 with me. I got 5 shells. Let's see if we can make them count. Oh dear, right to the side of the turret. That one into the hull though. T62A reacts. There's my 3rd shell. We got 2 left. Let's go down swinging, boys and girls. Will we put 1 more into the T55A? Yeah, we will. I raise my gun in the air. I press my 8 key, which tells my team that my ammunition is empty. And, well, job done. Radley-Walters medal secured. That will at least give us a hero result here. And I don't think too much more can be expected than 7,000 damage and 2,400 spotting in that time. And I would argue that that amount of spotting was not for lack of trying. I think if our FV405 had maybe come across when he saw all of the vehicles advancing, he could have done a lot more damage than 1,444, that's for certain. And the only thing I really regret in this replay is that I was forced to fire so much at long range, because with the amount of ammunition that the BatChat carries, which is severely limited, you really need to make all of your shots count. But what could I do? Ask all of the enemies to, yes, just advance one by one, let me come in, do a whole circle, and then give me a minute to reload. Yeah, that would be a very good situation to be in. But I wanted to feature this replay today because I felt it was the quintessential round to show why, in my opinion, the BatChat is just the best tier 10 light tank. Just look at the BatChat at the end of the game, how we were able to hide in the smallest of bushes from tier 10 medium tanks that were only about 200 or 300 meters away from you. If you can find a bush, the BatChat is small enough to fit in it. The only real advantages that your tier 10 light tanks have is the increased camo rating to be able to get there, but only about 5 or at most 10%. The BatChat more than makes up for that with its increased durability, its magazine potential, and its penetration over long range. The fact that the BatChat still does, in my opinion, 90% of a scouting role that the best scouts on your team will be able to achieve, while still having about 80% of the damage capacity that a full-blooded tier 10 medium tank would have, truly makes this tank one of a kind. But then again, with the tier 10 French wheeled light tanks on the horizon, maybe the original tier 10 French medium tank has got something to watch out for. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, but if you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below, what is the vehicle that you would choose to take into any situation if you had to have a one-on-one fight? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.